Japa phenomena and its implications for national development was the theme of discussion for the 2024 National Diaspora Day celebrations. Our second episode of the National Diaspora Day will focus on migration and its impact on the Nigerian economy, African diaspora champions, celebrity interview with diaspora role model, home strings with interest in second and third generation Nigerians in the diaspora, as well as cutting the anniversary cake in New York, USA, and Accra, Ghana. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the diasporic ambience of your favorite show, The Diaspora. I am Khadija Bomeli, your anchor. Please stay. Welcome back. Let's begin with African diaspora champions with Bobby Digi Olisa, New York, United States, as moderator.
Does anybody know what Japa means?
I know what?
Japa. What is Japa? Are you referring to Japa?
Japa. To break away, to leave, to migrate, what we will call in immigration. Yes.
You all are legislators, so you get to see this on a regular basis. You get to see and work with folks who have Japa. So from your experience, what can you share? Give us some insight from your perspective and your opinion as well.
If we have the ability to think about the opportunities that we can create at home, whether it's in the US, Nigeria, no matter where you are, there are opportunities that could be created, all right? And when I look at just how beautiful Nigeria is, for instance, and the amount of opportunities that we have here, and I look at what's going on in Guinea and all the other countries that want to go into Guinea, right? I ask myself, you know, how about the folks that are living there that can make a difference in their community? Is it going to be easy? No, it won't be easy. But if you don't plan for the future, it's like you're almost planning to fail.
Well, when I think of Japa, I represent almost 80% Caribbean African immigrants. I'm first generation American. My family migrated for the better life, right? You're told the American dream. And what I would say about our people is our unity, our faith, right? And then our peaceful energy and the progress. So all this strength and unity, when it comes to our people, we are, I would say, as to build off what you say, Charles, in crisis, in need, in the U.S. is our immigrants, right? That's the backbone of our community.
You all have, again, your legislators, you've heard about these situations. We can draw parallels when you think about migrations happening from Mexico into the U.S. and, of course, in different parts of the world. From your perspective, what would be advice that you would give to those considering Japa or who have actually Japa?
If you don't have, if you're not going through the proper channels, or you're not, or you're trying to cut corners or trying to find the easy way out, when you cut corners and try to find the easy way out, it could likely result to a disaster and an unsafe situation. And especially if you're traveling or you're migrating with your family, you're not only putting yourself at risk, but you're putting your whole family at risk, you know? And so that's why we want to encourage people, if they want to relocate, if they want to migrate, they do it the right way.
Talking about the proper channels will definitely make sure that you get that. We don't want you to have somebody holding something over your head or money that we don't have, we spend out and we don't get what in return. And as you heard from our Honorable Dr. Abike, there's a lot of trafficking, there's different things that's going on that put you in a vulnerable state. So going through the correct process, find that out through your government, through agencies that is vetted and reputable is the best and credible way to do it, to make sure that you're not in harm's way. So, because if you're going for the opportunity, we want you to be safe, and your family is depending on you to be safe as well.
Now, to our celebrity interview with diaspora role model Professor Seriki Abdulkadir Abba, Director, Urological Research, Northwestern University, Chicago, USA. Honorable Abike Dabir Erewa, Chairman CEO, NIDCOM, and Stephanie Busari, CNN Senior Editor, Africa, moderating.
We're hoping that he's going to Jakarta to give some of his skills. But Professor Abba, I just want to ask, do you come back often to maybe do some kind of medical work in this country? I know a lot of doctors come back to do that sometimes.
First of all, the reason why I really went to the US was because I wanted to do research. The reason I wanted to do research, I was convinced that the best way to have impact on the largest number of people for the longest possible time is by doing research on something that will have an impact. For example, to discover a new treatment. Give you the example of penicillin, discovered in 1928. I just asked ChatGPT 2 days ago, how many people have been treated with penicillin or derivatives of penicillin over time? And I think the estimate was about maybe 10 billion people. And I asked how many people's lives were saved by the discovery of penicillin so far, and it's about 400 million people. The guy who discovered it is long dead, but they have done something that has an impact. So that's why I went to the US, and I stayed in research, and I'm staying in research. I'm working on cancer, working on something that prostate cancer, for example, is very common. It affects everybody all over the world. Black Africans, blacks in general, have high rate. So my way of giving is to give to the world, to do something that will impact people here and everywhere, even after I die. The other thing I do on an individual level, I'm involved in many initiatives. I'm part of the National Health Research Committee and other things. I do individual things, study initiatives. I have a foundation that's based in Kano that does a lot of the things that have been mentioned. But I just wanted to say that the reason why I left is really for me to, that's why I stayed in academia. If you notice, I've always been in academia.
Thank you very much for sharing that. And I'm interested to know why urology, for example. Is there a personal reason that you decided to focus on urology?
Yeah, so that actually happened accidentally. I was just pursuing my research and in the cancer, and I ended up with studying prostate cancer, and that ended up me, actually I was training in pathology, and then got into the urologic pathology because of prostate cancer, and now ended up directing urological research. So it's really pursuing what I saw as an opportunity to address a problem. So I didn't set out thinking that I needed to do this specialty or that specialty, and so I'm doing what such directs me to.
Is there something in your research that you can share that's perhaps advanced the course?
Yeah, so what we have been fortunate to do recently, and actually the seed of this research was planted when I was at ABU, Zaria. Some of you who are physicians will know that in Africa here we have something called vacuum lymphoma that tends to be very common in areas that have malaria. So it's a big tumor, sometimes in the jaw, sometimes in the ovaries, and it's just devastating, but the treatment can be good for it. But I got fascinated by why it is associated with malaria. What's the connection? So basically that led me to one gene called MYC. And since I went to the US, I have always been doing that. Until now, we have what we hope are new drugs that we have developed from scratch, that we have a startup company that's working. And hopefully, maybe by next year, we'll do it. So really just, I was kind of single-minded in pursuing the goal. So that is what is happening with my research.
How often do you come back home, one? And secondly, what advice do you have to those who are just thinking, look, I'm leaving tomorrow. It doesn't matter, I just have to go. Just advise them.
So I come back, I visit maybe 4 times a year. And I think that is, first of all, let me preface this by saying, sounding a note of hope. The best of my knowledge, all the Nigerians that I know, all the Nigerians that I know, especially those who are kind of what you may call established, so they have achieved their goal, maybe they're in their 50s and above.
The 2024 National Diaspora Day celebrations had as theme Japa Phenomena and its implications for national development. President, Nigerian IT Professionals in the Americas, NITPA, Maryland, USA, Professor Mani Anebonam moderated the theme discussion.
What will it take in terms of investment? What sort of investment can you bring to Nigeria to help to turn around the Japa syndrome? Because what people are doing is to want to go outside to look for jobs. And I'll start with you.
As far as my point of view, being in academia, I can think about research opportunities for academic institutions, opportunities for hospitals over there and healthcare facilities to collaborate, right? On different healthcare programs, exchange programs, training opportunities for our workforce, because we know that there's that issue on ground. So those are some of the things that come to mind. But enabling environment is key. We need to make sure that when people come back from there, there's the transportation system, electricity, all these factors that also exist in the healthcare system are good. I think that's important.
Perfect. Enabling environment, very crucial. Osakwe?
Yeah, so I'll say two things very quickly. So the first is there is the piece around, like you said, there's the piece around capacity building and being able to pour knowledge in to help improve. What I have done, and I can give an example. So what I have done with my, the university I graduated from, alma mater, is, so I have partnered with the Ladoke Akintola University. And so what I do every year is we mentor the top 20 graduating students in science and technology. And we attach them to international mentors in different parts of the world, in those particular areas.
I think the opportunities are there, the financing is there, the stakeholders are ready to go. And I do think that even though these are tough economic times, times like this create the best opportunities for incredible growth to follow. So it's not all doom and gloom.
The Nigerian delegation is here, including the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, and I'm supporting them on the ground to push for more visible representation when it comes to policy, investments, and programs. In my own personal capacity, we have a family foundation, we have African change makers, the Health Consulting and East Africa, and in all of those, we're pushing for not only development on the ground, we're creating jobs, we're promoting our products on global shelves, and we're ensuring that every time we show up at the basic level, I'm wearing proudly Nigerian outfits made by Nigerian designers. Thank you.
I think if you want Nigerians to invest in Nigeria, you must make it easy, you must make it affordable, you must make sure that the environment is accountable and there's transparency. If there are all those things, people will invest. For us, we have created a platform called iPhilanthropy, and I put the link in the chat, where Nigerians can invest as little as $2 in job creation to support the work that is going on in the country. And I'm pleased to say that this platform was supported by Wema Bank in Nigeria, because we must use local capital to make the case for international investing and to make the case for Nigerians in the diaspora to invest. We must show that people on the ground are prepared to invest.
Definitely, for us to come back and to turn the Japa syndrome into a positive gain for the country, the economy must improve. And I know the government is doing all they can to see that that happens.
Let's take a short break. The diaspora continues shortly.
This walk that you're walking, even though it was known as the point of no return, we see it now as the joy of return.
The spirit of Africa could not be broken by the transatlantic slave trade. You cannot lose the spirit. And the divine force, the spirit of Africa, has brought us back today.
We're so happy you made it, and we would love to hear all about your contributions to Nigeria through the aid of children with disabilities. Fatima, welcome.
Hi everyone. Being a Nigerian in diaspora, I think it's a very unique experience because we are all, though we are based outside of Nigeria, our heart is connected to Nigeria. We are constantly looking at systems that are working outside of Nigeria and looking at ways that we can bring it back home. Of course, in respect to our own cultures and values as Nigerians. So home will always be home. Home will always be Nigeria. May God bless this nation, and may we all continue to strive to make it better as it reaches its fullest potential and beyond.
Alex would now like to tell us about how he's creating impact around the world using artificial intelligence from California. Alex, hello. Welcome to Diaspora.
Hello.
We made it.
Thank you very much, Aisha. The mobile industry, you might be aware, brings about 16% to Nigeria's GDP today, creating jobs that many people who are listening to me today are partaking in. AI, we're about to experience this big artificial intelligence and AI industry growth that can potentially bring a similar kind of increase in GDP and jobs. So I think we should take it seriously. Today, I can show you why AI is this important and how we started this journey 7 years ago. You can have AI tools that can be used to teach many more people effectively, and that's a great thing.
As Nigerians, we just do not carry last. And I think for all of us can say that, that is something all the diaspora use to excel and exceed in multiple ways and all the things we do, especially as we've seen here today with all the initiatives that we've heard from notable leading diaspora from the country. I'd say for me, one thing is the idea of the power of community. We heard about the remittances, intellectual remittances as well, and the power it was done for us as a country. Nigeria is the world leading investors in remittances back into their country. And we see this as a massive, 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 massive show of power of community. So much so that as a collective, we as young people also have a responsibility to do more. One thing that I say about me and people that I'm associated with in my circle is that we always come back to Nigeria for December time. And this, I would say, this is the largest influx of diaspora in the period in the year, I'd say. So as a team, we want to take advantage of being responsible and having impact on the youth. So much so that we believe that, for me, I'm from a tech background. I work at HSBC as a quantitative business analyst. So I did a thesis on the impact of economic opportunities on platform services in Nigeria. So there's a gap in the market with a large amount of youth. And we believe to empower this youth with tech skills will take us that step further as a country.
How do we make sure that we're able to cure sickle cell? And when we do have a cure for sickle cell, how do we make sure that our people back home in Nigeria are able to benefit from it too? So that's a little bit about me, and it's an absolute pleasure to be with you both today. Thank you.
I understand that it is my job as this, person. I'm one of very few black professors at the University of Calgary, but also the only Nigerian woman professor in Faculty of Arts at the University of Calgary. And that puts me in a very unique position to tell stories about this thing that I'm so passionate about. For research, my PhD doctoral research was really on how Nigerian journalists use new digital technologies to tell their own stories. At that time, when I studied at the University of Central Lancashire in Preston in the UK, the assumption was that journalism was going to die as we know it, that we wouldn't have newspapers and all of that. But my research shows that local context factors are very important in how we share narratives about issues that affect us globally. And I continue to do that in my role as an assistant professor here.
Representation matters. Representation matters indeed. The results of the 2024 European elections showed an increase in the general anti-migration and anti-foreigner sentiment. And this increased feelings of anxiety and fear in our youth. Also, a recent study conducted by the European Union to identify blocking factors to European Union careers.
To all our second and third generation of Nigerians in the diaspora, we grow more proud of you each and every year. You give us more reasons to celebrate you. We would like to implore you to key into Nigerian diaspora engagements such as the Haske Foundation, Siji's initiative, the Alliance for AI. You know, there's so many of them out there. Get together, support each other, make each other stronger. And remember that NITCOM is always here to support you in creating more impact and building a better Nigeria. Happy Diaspora Day, everyone, and God bless. Thank you.
The National Diaspora Day celebrations 2024 witnessed cutting of cake and entertainment globally. Enjoy.
Can we see, if you see the screen, that is New York. New York, how are you? Let's say what to New York, Ambassador Chida, how are you? Ghana, are you there? Hey. Okay, Atlanta, are you there? New York, are you there? Australia, are you here? D I A S P A S P O R A. Let's move over to New York and Ghana. Can we see the screen? New York, Ambassador Gina, say a word or two.
From here, I know it's evening over there. We're happy to be with you via Zoom. I have with me here my staff and also Nigerians in diaspora who came to join us celebrate the Diaspora Day with you. We wish you well. We wish you all a very pleasant occasion and outing and outcome of this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ghana, are you there? Okay. I think we're done. Did we see Ghana? Well, thank you, everybody. Tie over to you. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip.
That concludes events for the 2024 National Diaspora Day celebrations. Next week, we will focus on Youth Empowerment Program and Diaspora Merit Awards. I remain Khadija Bamali. Stay positive.